Hello, welcome to a tutorial video for the Strike and Dip Virtual Reality tool. Today I will be covering the tools usable in this program. To access the tools, open the Tools menu. This tool is the Strike and Dip Example Set. This tool demonstrates the relationship between strike, dip, right-hand rule, and the slope they correspond to. Clicking the buttons on this tool will display or hide the arrows or hand model on this tool. This tool is designed to be an example guide. Placing this tool along a slope will demonstrate the strike, dip, and right-hand rule placement for that slope. This is the compass tool. The red and white needle on its face will always point north. The gray needle will always point towards the ground. The face of this tool can be grabbed and rotated, much like a real-world compass. When the Save Strike or Save Dip buttons on the main menu are pressed, they will always save data from the orientation of this compass tool. This is the Beginner tool. It is a movable set of strike and dip arrows. No matter how it is moved, the strike arrow will always stay horizontal or parallel to the ground, and the dip arrow will always point 90 degrees to the right of the strike arrow. Once the strike arrow has been placed along a slope, the dip arrow can be grabbed separately and rotated down to any angle between 0 and 90 degrees. This tool also has a built-in menu. The Expand button will move the menu to a vertical position above the tool. The Minimize button will place the menu flat on the strike arrow of the tool. Once this tool's arrows have been positioned, clicking the Save Strike and Save Dip buttons on this tool's built-in menu will save this tool's strike and dip data. Clicking the Draw Data or Clear Drawn Data buttons will draw or remove arrows along the strike and dip saved to this tool. Clicking the Copy button will create a movable set of arrows that will hold their position along the saved strike and dip for this tool. These copies can be used to compare various measurements around the level. Clicking the Delete button on a copy will remove that set of arrows. In this section, I will demonstrate how to use each of these tools. This tool is designed to be an example guide. Placing this tool along a slope will demonstrate the strike, dip, and right-hand rule placement for that slope. This section exhibits how to save strike and dip measurements using the compass tool. After saving strike and dip measurements, I check those measurements against the correct values for this slope. This example slope displays its correct strike and dip measurements in its bottom left corner. These measurements have a margin of error of a couple of degrees in either direction. This section exhibits how to save strike and dip measurements using the Beginner tool. After saving strike and dip measurements, I check those measurements against the correct values for this slope. This example slope displays its correct strike and dip measurements in its bottom left corner. These measurements have a margin of error of a couple of degrees in either direction. The next tool is the Scaffold Platforms tool. When taking a strike and dip measurement from a high point on one of the landscape or outcrop models, this tool can be very useful for both maneuvering around the model as well as preventing vertigo or uneasiness for users who are uncomfortable with heights. Clicking the Place Scaffold button will place a scaffold platform directly below the user's current position. Clicking the Remove Scaffold button will remove all of the scaffold platforms currently in the level.